In this section of this course, we will learn about some advanced animation tricks inside of After Effects. So we will begin with strokes. We know a little bit about strokes, like how to change its color, how to change its width, and how to change its caps. But After Effects gives us a lot of options to manipulate strokes. So let's begin. Do you remember our digital animation, which we have used in lesson 23? We are going to create that one. So let's take ellipse tool and set fill to none, and I'm keeping stroke width to 10. Now create an ellipse here. Go to window menu and let's align it to the center using this align panel. Press Y key to grab pen behind tool and center its anchor point to the shape. And now just go to shape properties and expand stroke options. And here you will get this dash option. If you expand it, it will have no parameters. So to add dashes, just click on this plus button and it will add dashes to the circle. By changing this dash value, we can increase or decrease amount of dashes on this stroke. Let's set it to 10 again. By changing this stroke width, we can change dash length bigger or smaller. Let's set its value to 5. Click on plus button again and it will add one more parameter, which is gap. And this gap parameter will allow us to alter the gap between dashes. Let's set its value to 4 to keep dashes pretty close to each other. Now collapse this layer and let's call it dotted circle. I'm going to duplicate it and call it plain circle. And in this shape, I don't want any dash on it. So we just need to click on this minus button and it will remove parameters one by one and we will get plain circle. Let's make a stroke some thin, say 3 points. Now increase its size so that it will snap to dashes from outer side. I think a stroke should be some thick to get it easily, so I'm going to change its stroke width to 5. Alright. Duplicate this layer and let's bring down its size so that it will snap to dashes from inner side. It will generate a complex shape like this. Let's get some more variations. So just copy this dotted circle and put it above to all layers. Expand its stroke properties to modify dashes. But before that, let's reduce its size so that it will be inside of other shapes. Now go to dash parameters and let's increase dash value to get big dashes over this stroke. Now increase gap value to put some gap between dashes. Now here is something new. Click on this plus button and it will add one more dash parameter to it. Very interesting feature. Now it will add in between dashes, and by changing its value, you can achieve nice variations on this stroke. Click on this plus button one more time and it will add one more gap parameter to it. It will change gaps between new dashes, which is dash 2 in my case. So you can see we have created a shape which looks very complicated, but in real, it's not difficult to create. And obviously, you can add number of dash and gap parameters to this stroke. Now let's collapse it. And I'm going to duplicate this plain circle layer. And we just need to reduce its size so that it will be in center of the above circle's stroke, something like this. Let's reduce its width also. Fine. Duplicate this layer, open its shape properties, and reduce its size. Expand its stroke parameters and go to dashes. And let's get rid of these last two parameters. Now expand this dash value to pretty high amount so that we will have large dashes. Now increase gap value to give some space between these dashes. Bring it some down. And let's reduce its size. You can see dashes are not distributed uniformly. So we need to adjust dash parameter a little bit. Now let's set its cap to rounded so that edges will not be hard. It's not looking well, so let's increase dash value so that we have only 3 dashes on it, and adjust in between gap to distribute these uniformly. Looking well. Now let's duplicate this layer one more time and open its scale property. Just bring it down. It will scale both its size and its stroke width. Open rotation property and rotate it to some angle. And this is the shape which we have used in our digital animation. Now you can just create a null layer to control all these shape layers by parenting them. Alright, now I'm going to show you one more feature which is offset under dashes property. By controlling offset value, you can move dashes. But at this time, it's rotating it because it's a circular path. But when you have a straight line, you will find that dashes are moving. We can also animate it. Set a keyframe and let's move to 7 seconds and decrease its value to negative to rotate dashes clockwise. Now it will animate something like this. By setting offset value pretty high, we can move dashes fast. It's up to you. Let's examine this offset on a straight line. So I'm going to take pen tool and create a straight line holding shift key. Now just open its stroke properties and add dashes to it. Increase dashes to see it clearly and add some gap between these dashes. Now set a keyframe to offset, go to 6 seconds and decrease its value. Now if you play it, you will find that strokes are moving. Actually, it depends on path. It will move on linear path and will rotate on a circular path. So by using dashes parameters, you can create very interesting designs and you need not to go to other apps for it. In next lesson, we will learn about trimming paths.